so this is, what's your name, Thomas?
Thomas Waldenstedt. I'm from Sweden, actually.
From Sweden,
I'm
okay.
a full-time European Tour employee. I've been a full-time employee, European Tour employee for 17, 18 years.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I'm doing anything between 20 and 25 events a year.
On the European Tour?
Yes,
Yeah.
main tour,
Okay.
challenge tour, stay shore tour and qualifying school. So it's a mix of everything.
That's excellent. And we were, I was just talking with your colleague about the feeder system with the Euro Pro going through to the Challenge Tour, through to the European Tour. And I was just looking, we were just talking about, not in a negative sense, but the distribution of money from the main European Tour through to events like this, for instance. I was just thinking, when I first came here, I thought it would be a little bit more sort of sponsored up and badged and kind of freebies for the guys, and I noticed there was some water on the first tee and that was about it, but I just wonder what your thoughts were on this level.
As you said, it's not like the Challenge Tour event, for example, which is the next step for these guys, or maybe even the main tour event if they get one of the cards when they play the final qualifying stage. And further up they get, the more of those things you mentioned, they get exactly. So these first stages, there are a couple of stages here in the UK. Yes,
we've got four.
And
so I was just going to go from the start. So the your professional who's looking to try and get to the European Tour, it's a long road, isn't it? And,
it is.
And they're going to start off here, and it's £1,750 to enter this qualifying stage?
1,750.
Yeah, so it's quite a lot of money, and a lot of these pros aren't sponsored.
Euros, I think
big risk. And we've spoken to a few guys today from America just for this event, and Australia for this event. And so then they're going to play this with, it's 4 rounds?
It's 4 rounds, that's correct, and 19 ties get through to the second stage.
From each one of the 4 that are in the UK, or
it is a percentage actually. It depends on how many players.
Is it 7 shots in the lead in ties or something?
Well, the last round on Friday, all within 7 shots of the last qualifying spot. That they can carry on and play the 4th round.
So is there a playoff for?
No, it's not. It's just
straight in that way.
The ties included,
And what is the process? Can they literally just be a professional, or I'm assuming a scratch amateur, and pay their money and enter, or is there a pre-qualifying before this?
No. Well, they must be, I think, roughly a scratch player. But they can still be an amateur.
Yes.
And they can sign a paper here saying that they will keep their amateur status even if they play here. And that means that they can't get any prize money. Well, the prize money is not much. I think it's just 1,000 euros for the first place.
Right.
So
and that's for this qualifying here today, or for what's the prize other than the big prize of the European Tour when you get through to the next round? Is any particular money?
That's the same second stage and the final stage. It's a bit more, but not much. You can't compare it to Challenge Tour and main tour. No, not at all.
So the second stage is in Spain?
Yep, there are I think 4 venues in Spain.
And you choose, or can you just, or you put where you're put once you qualify for this one?
You are put where you're put actually. They can't choose then, you know. And then we play for a certain number of spots at the second stage as well. But that's an exact spot for the final. So that means that we're going to have playoffs in Spain. Which also means that we're going to play for alternative spots. Second, 5th or 8th or whatever it is. If there are withdrawals. So here we have just ties, they go through, and next stage it must be exact. Let's say exactly 25 players, for example, depending on how many.
And the other thing I'm really interested in is when you get to the final qualifying, and let's say there's 100 players, maybe? So how many spots, full spots on the European Tour would there be? So they can literally play all the events, if that's possible?
They're not going to play all events, but quite a few events. And if I remember right now, I think we play for, is it 15 or 25 cards?
So we can say around 20.
Well,
get nearly full cards, or not really? They're sort of
not
entry
really
cards.
full cards. So they cannot play all events.
Right.
They get a category.
Okay. Yeah.
And then it depends on how many others. You know, if it is a full field, 1, 5, 6 players.
Yeah.
You go down the category.
Okay.
And if they qualify for, let's say, the main tour, the following, they get the card for 1 year.
Right.
They are almost guaranteed to play, let's say, maybe up to 20 events on the main tour actually.
Okay,
so it's not that bad.
And so when you get, because I think it's quite a good system, when you're outside of those 20 spots that you get, you then get a card on the Challenge Tour?
You can then play on the Challenge Tour. You get a category on the Challenge Tour as well.
Which is another big tour.
Yeah,
and it's a great feeder tour up to the European Tour.
Yeah, exactly. And I think today we have, is it almost 25, 30 events on the Challenge Tour? All over the world,
yeah,
actually.
That's great.
More or less, yeah.
And then the Euro Pro feeds that, and it feeds up, and the system seems to be working very well.
But to start here and qualify and go all the way up to get almost a full European Tour card, it's a long way.
Yeah.
And it gets narrow.
Yes.
And so the final in Spain, in Barcelona area at Lumine, we play 2 courses and we play 6 rounds.
6 rounds. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a cut, or are they just?
It is a cut after 4 rounds.
Okay.
So we use 2 courses.
Sure.
All players play both courses in the end, and then we go to 1 course and play the 2 final rounds.
That's fantastic. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a big pressure for the players, and
for many years it was La Manga back in my day.
It used to be La Manga, yeah, and we played at San Roque as well, down there. The old course and the new course.
Right.
And I think we've been in France as well, Marsan, Montpellier, or whatever it is, if we go back.
And were you, or are you a golfer?
I play golf myself, but not professional golf. I'm just an amateur. I do, yeah.
You still get enough time to play? Do you sneak out on the
courses? Next year I hope I get more time to play, because this is my last year. I'm retiring this year.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything comes to an end. Nothing is forever.
And the European Tour will stop then?
No, I don't think so. But anyhow.
Well, thanks for your time. That was really interesting. I think hopefully it was knowledgeable for everybody knowing what it's like to get on the European Tour.
Yeah.
Cheers, okay. This is the balls. Nice little. How many was there? Somebody told me 6,000 Titleist Provis. Have a look at that. Don't know if you can focus in on that. Provis practice balls. Now apparently we've been told they're 80%, which stops us from nicking them. But whether 80% or not, I don't know. But they look pretty good. Look at that little lot. It's amazing what you get for £2,000, isn't it? Okay, so I've nabbed these 2 competitors here. This is the 3rd day of the European Tour Scores.
Third day.
3rd 18 holes. These guys have been here. Did you come here on Monday, was it?
Sunday.
Sunday, so you've had a couple of practice rounds.
No, I just got one. I got
Did you?
Late
One
Sunday.
practice round?
Yep. Came over and chipped and putted a little bit, hit some balls.
And then straight out.
Straight out.
So your name is Kevin?
Kevin Gately.
Kevin Gately and
Lewis Gockin.
Lewis Gockin. He's more of a local lad than this guy. So where are you from, Kevin?
I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, just south of Boston, I should say.
And you're from near Edinburgh?
Yes, not far from Edinburgh.
That's not too bad.
No,
it's a slight, mind you, a longer drive. Did you drive down or fly down?
I drove down Sunday night.
What'd you say, it was 6 hours?
Yeah. Just
right, so you're in from Boston. And so what was the thought process? You just European Tour, or have you got .com or something? Is it?
We were kind of between web and European, and web kind of passed us by without us really even noticing, and thought 3 rounds instead of 4.
And so the web, that's to qualify to get on the web.
Yes.
And that's in America, is it?
Yes, that's in America. And
why'd you miss that? You just went on
we kind of missed the deadline. We just kind of weren't paying attention when we finally got the money together. So decided, I mean, we looked at this and we said if you make it to 3rd, you basically get some status on the challenge. So
it's worth a go.
Absolutely.
So when you say make it to 3rd, that's the final qualifying of this. Yeah, so we've got the next one in Spain, yeah, if you get through this one.
Yep.
And then
Spain again.
And then you got your double Spain, which is the big spots. So you've got to get to the final qualifying basically. That's a bit of a long trip, isn't it? Just
oh yeah.
And what's then the status on the .com? Is it a full status player?
No, it's tough to make it out there too. It's 4 stages because you go pre-qualifying, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. And then even if you make it to final stage, you're not guaranteed any kind of status.
So getting to the third here would get you into just into
some
the
kind of
qualifying.
challenge.
Oh,
Yeah.
or just some kind of competitions on the Challenge Tour.
Yes,
Okay.
that's what I've been told.
And yourself, you were just having a go for it because what do you play now? Euro Pro or?
Yeah, playing Euro Pro and the Scottish region stuff,
Right.
PGA Pro. But yeah, I was really just aiming for a Challenge Tour card. That was kind of what I was, and there's no other way going about it.
Yeah, apart from Euro Pro, which is winning a
top
lot on
five,
that. Yeah.
So that's I was just get through to final stage, try and get some sort of category Challenge Tour and give that a run.
Sure.
That's being realistic. I think that's to go from Euro Pro straight on European tours, maybe a bit of a jump. I think.
Yeah. Well, I was saying yesterday that as a top amateur, you get a lot of things, a lot of tournaments, a lot of competitions, fantastic 72 events, big sponsorships and banners at the events. And then there's kind of nothing because you've got your West Region, you've got your sort of local pro circuit, which is just turn up and play 18 holes, maybe the occasional 36. This is in the UK. I mean, tell me, Kevin, if it's different where you are.
It's really quite similar. I mean, we have Latin America Tour and Canadian Tour, which is basically like Euro Pro. It's kind of the step below Web, and then you try and go to Web, and then you try and go to the Tour.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just mini tours. But the big difference is we have Monday qualifiers for web events and Canadian Tour and PGA Tour. So that's kind of the easiest way to get out on tour is through that. I mean, I think someone actually set a record this year. Someone made 8 PGA Tour Monday qualifiers, which is just unheard of. Like Patrick Reed had the record before; he had 6, which was ridiculous.
You must have to go so low in those things.
It's we compared one, the Honda Classic, which is down in Florida. Everyone's down there at that time. It's basically harder to make that than it is to get into the US Open. So
really, So what's next for you guys then? So you're gonna just get back on it and try and do local and come back to this event next year? Or?
I don't know if I'm coming back. We got to reevaluate. I'll probably do Canadian over the winter because that's a viable option because I'm fairly close to Canada. Some of the events.
Did you play a lot of amateur golf or did you?
Yeah, I played a good amount in the Northeast. Not too many big tournaments. Tried to get into USAM, just couldn't play well, and then played in college, which was nice.
What about yourself?
I'm not too sure. It's quite there's a little bit missing almost of where you go from here. I think like if you go for this and you might miss it, like where would you then look to put your attention on it? I'm not too sure what I'm going to do.
I mean, is this a huge disappointment? I mean, obviously you're going to be like disappointed this week, but is it kind of like a block out of a year, or is it what's the weight of this, or was it a bit of a lottery ticket, if you like? You know.
I think you can't come to this with a huge expectation or a guaranteed expectation of you getting on something. I mean, you could win this, play really well, and then not make it at the next stage.
Well, it's only category 17 anyway, even if you win the whole.
So I don't think you can come with a huge expectation, but at least there's more of a direction of where you're going to go from there. Like you're going to the next stage, try and get through that, and then try and get some sort of challenge to the category. There's whereas you miss it kind of early on, then take a bit of time to reevaluate what you're going to do. But
so it is reevaluating afterwards.
Well, the other sort of hot topic yesterday when I was chatting to those guys, which I thought was bad, because I did a bit of research on this. When I was looking at the tour qualifying was like in the 80s, so it was a very different thing then. Whereas now it's £1,750 to get in.
$2,300.
And do you know how much it is to get into a European Tour event?
Like $1,000 probably?
£35.
Really?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah. Right, so what is that? I mean, when you've got multi-millionaire sponsored people, your Henrik Stensons, all these guys, and they're paying £35. You've got you guys out here who've travelled to get here, queued up. You're the sort of, I guess, the new, could be the next Rory's and the next whatever. And, there's a lot of people that can afford it. A lot of great players who can do it.
That's one of the funny things. Is like the higher level you get, it's almost not. You can't say it's easier, but like parts of it easier. Like equipment comes easier. It's ridiculous.
Well, I just think there should be more support there. Consider the money flying around. I mean, for your basically for your £2,000 to enter this tournament, you got a free bottle of water. And that's it. I mean, I've had better things than a local medal. You know, there's some balls, there's a glove, and there's, you know.
It's funny, I called probably about a week prior, and maybe I should have called. I could have called a little earlier, but I called about a week prior, and I was like, can I get a caddy over there? And they're like, yeah, we'll find you a caddy. And so I called a couple days before. I'm like, you guys get me a caddy? And they're like, oh, no, we'll get you one. And I showed up the Sunday. Did you get me a caddy? No, we'll have one for you tomorrow. And then it's just like, you got any caddies? Nah, no one did.
Yeah, nice one. Well done, guys.
Cheers.
Thanks very much. And good luck for the rest of your lives.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so this is Gary Ellis, son of Peter Ellis, I believe.
Correct.
Which is fantastic,
right.
yeah.
For both of our sins.
So you're here as part of the crew this week?
Yes, yeah. We're working with the European Tour as part of the referee team.
Right, okay, and so you'll be out general. So you're helping with also with the setup of the course, with the tees and some of the pin placements, etc.?
Absolutely right, yeah. The tour team, we do 9 holes each, so this front 9 have been mine too.
Your baby.
Obviously with the help of Thomas and guidance and everything, but no, we choose basically just what's a good pin, a fair pin as we can, and the greens are difficult here because they're quite sloping, although they're big.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just look for a good pin that's challenging and work out how the wind direction, because there's some big holes out here. So.
All this is taken into account then?
Absolutely, yeah. The weather, the wind direction, we look at it every day and make a final decision. Shall we push this tee up a little bit, or can we take it back? And
what's your background with the PGA?
Basically, I've been a PGA pro now since the early 70s, and over the years I've mainly been a club pro. I was at Trevose for 30 years and then latterly at the Belfry, and so yes, I've been involved.
And that's the HQ at Belfry, isn't it?
That's right, the PGA's headquarters are at the Belfry. So,
and now are you focusing more did I hear on the Europro and some of the events?
Well, because I suppose I'm not at a club anymore, because I'm sort of semi-retired, so I still teach a couple of days a week. I do some refereeing, which is mainly sort of Europro and PGA events rather than European Tour events, and I'm involved still with the training of young pros, and I actually do the commentary for the Europro Tour as well. So.
And Mr. Morgan, he was...
that's right, yeah, John, I work with John a lot.
He was down this way. So
yeah, that's right, yeah, down at Clevedon.
Well, the guys are back to hit their second shot, so we better go, but great to meet you. Thanks very much, and
thanks.
Good luck with your retirement.